Known kid from the Philippines would set foot in the American soil and one by one crossed out the world's greatest pool shooters, became the most lethal and feared competitor that conquered one of the most prestigious and largest pool tournament celebrated in the United States, and became the very first foreign player to ever win the US Open 9-ball championships.
Efren Reyes, his first major title, it's the US Open.
Efren "Bata" Reyes is every Filipino who pulled themselves out of poverty. Reyes was born to a poor family in a small town in Pampanga. He is the fifth sibling in 9 children. They live in a small house without electricity and running water. When Reyes turned 5 years old, his parents decided to send him to his uncle in Manila. That's when Efren Reyes' fate changed. Efren started playing at the age of 8. When he was 12, he was already one of Manila's best pool players. He dropped out of high school and pursued his career in billiards. At age 15, Reyes was already the most notorious billiard player in the Philippines. It came to a point that Reyes' notoriety for billiards became so widespread and famous in the Philippines that no one would dare to play him anymore. In his 20s, Reyes decided to fly out away from the Philippines and wanted to go out offshores. So he joined tournaments in Asia and in the United States. As featured in our last video, Reyes played 3 cushion billiards in the 1960s and 1970s, and being discovered by promoters, this gave him opportunities to compete in big-time tournaments. During the 1980s, when Reyes was considered a top-class player in his homeland, but not yet internationally recognized, he went to the US to hustle. Popular legend claims that Reyes earned $80,000 in a week. This feat made him a folk hero back home. Efren dominated pool events in the 1985 in the US and won major tournaments including the 1985 Chicago Billiard Cafe Open, the Williards Open, Tar Heel Open, Reds 9-ball Open, and both the 1985 and 1986 Suns Regency 9-ball Championship, and later in 1988 the PBA McDermott Masters 9-ball Tournament.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a nervous smile though, I think. I mean, it's...
Reyes began winning a number of tournaments in the US, Europe, and parts of Asia. Thus, he started to gain attention and recognition worldwide. At the start of his career, he uses aliases to hide his identity so he would be allowed to compete. He used a different name to confuse event organizers and players from avoiding him. Instead of going by his real name, he used the name of his best friend, Cesar Morales, and surprised players at the Reds Open 9-ball tournament in Houston, Texas. For 21 days, he beat every unsuspecting challenger who did not know they were actually playing the legendary shooter from the Philippines. By the mid-1990s, he had become one of the elite players of the Philippines, alongside Jose Parica, Rodolfo Luat, George Dacer, Manuel Flores, and Francisco Bustamante. Reyes' fame even became overwhelmed when he won the US Open 9-ball championship in 1994 by defeating Nick Varner in the finals. He was the first non-American to win the event.
Was that on your mind at the time? Oo, nung nga tumitira si Nick Varner, akala ko hindi na naman ako titira dahil tuwing paglalaro ako ng kapanan, hindi ako makalusot para balagi ako natatalo.
Nick Varner, the #1 player in the world, takes on Efren Reyes, the #8 ranked player in the world that many people...
You're probably talking about the toughest player in the world today to beat. I was watching him play a match with Kim Davenport, and the score was 11-11. He's breaking the balls very good, and he's running out. He's going to be very hard to beat.
No wonder that Nick Varner, an American pool player, was the favorite of this match, because he is the ranked #1 pool player of the Pro Tour at this time and have on his queue a staggering 50 career titles, including 16 major 9-ball events. He was also a back-to-back champion, winning the US Open in 2 consecutive years in 1989 and 1990, calling him the Player of the Year. He was also inducted by the Billiard Congress of America as a Hall of Famer in 1992. As what the commentator said, this guy would be very hard to beat.
And he's running out. He's going to be very hard to beat.
His road to championships were very close ones. It was a struggle for Nick Varner, with 3 matches all came to the final rack, scoring 13-12.
Well, Efren's the magician. You know, he got some bad rolls. Didn't get any breaks to even try to win the tournament. When he played Earl Strickland, Earl just came out and he was on fire. There was no chance for him to win. And Johnny...
Efren Reyes came as an underdog in this match. He was not very known at this time. He is the #8 ranked player with only 8 career titles on his queue. He is on the Pro Tour for only 9 years, while Nick Varner has been playing for 24 years. In the previous year of the US Open in 1993, Efren only finished 2nd place and will be looking forward on the title this year. The irony is that Efren Reyes' road to championship in this match was never a struggle to him. In fact, he scored at least 4 games advantage, defeating each of his opponents, 3 of which only scored 4 out of 13. No one got close to him in the finals. In other words, it was a complete domination for him. From the very beginning, it was very clear that Efren Reyes dominated this match against the defending champion, Nick Varner. He maintains a very good lead advantage of about 3 games. Nick Varner had made some unforced errors in the earlier racks in which Efren took advantage. Varner made some great safety plays, but Efren was just a very good kicker and was able to outrun him. We move now to rack 15, Efren Reyes on the heel, scoring 8-6. Efren broke well and made a 6-ball. Now he has an open table without any apparent problems. He had a shot on the 1-ball and an easy 2-rail position on the 2-ball. A very clever and delicate shot on the 2-ball, playing 1 rail for the 3-ball next. Efren Reyes is superb in cue ball control and could manipulate and pinpoint the exact path of the cue ball as it moves past the object balls. He said in one interview that he thinks 8-ball in advance before he shoots. He plans the table so well that when he had an opportunity, he could run out easily and could leave you behind a couple of racks. As Efren shoots the 8-ball, the crowd could already sense that a new champion is about to emerge. This was a historic event in history about to unfold right in their very eyes.
The jinx is over. Efren Reyes, his first major title. It's the US Open in 1994. Champion is Efren Reyes and becomes the first foreign player ever to win the US Open. Standing.
Who would have thought that this notorious kid from the Philippines would gain victory over a 2-time US Open champion, Nick Varner, and later crowned as the overall winner. This title would bring great honor to his fellow countrymen and would mark history on the heart of those who love the sport. Join us again on our next video as we feature the next chapter of the life of the greatest pool player to have ever lived, as the magician Efren Bata Reyes.